Riven Vlad is actually an archetype we played somewhat recently that I was really impressed with and enjoyed. That being said, this build's a little bit different than the build that we had played previously, and I'm not sure if I love the changes here, but we're going to play some games with them and get a feel for it. So, Blade Squire and Weaver specifically are cards that I'm not really sure if they're competitive. I think one of the reasons why Riven has struggled in a lot of places is too often people are playing these other Reforged cards with her, and they're kind of individually low quality cards. And I think Riven is just a good self-enabling card in a lot of instances, and you don't need to play these other lower quality cards to pair with her. So I'm interested to see if my opinion is changed on these two cards together. One thing this deck is doing that I do really love, and we played this last time, is it's basically a 2-card combo. Scar Mother here, 3/8 for 6, that when she survives damage, she gets +3 attack, along with Bloodseeker, deals 1 damage to an ally and enemy 4 times. If you curve Mother into Bloodseeker, this makes Mother turn into a 14 power unit, and God forbid you have Scar Grounds into play, it turns her into an 18 power unit. Would you dislike using Braum? I really am not a fan of Braum in this archetype. Specifically, there's 2 reasons. The first is that this archetype is good because it's aggressive, in my opinion, and Braum being an 0/5 is really not an aggressive card, even if he eventually makes a 3/3. The second thing is that with Scar Grounds, the real cost to playing landmarks in these decks is the fact that they take up bench space from you, and Braum is another card where his real payoff is expensive bench space. He takes up multiple spots on your bench. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it feels. Like I said, I'm skeptical that the cheap Riven enablers are worth playing, but I'm interested to see how they feel after some games. So for people that are new to the stream, I did not make any of the decisions about cards in this deck. In fact, I think the only change I made from the list my viewers submitted was I added a 3rd Scorched Earth, because I think having ways to kill Plaza right now is really important, and Scorched Earth is really good with things like Ember Maiden. But this is almost card for card what a viewer has sent in. Nerf Blaster, thank you for the 11 months of Prime. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning. Good afternoon. 20 after 12. You could say my opponent is scarred playing against our deck. You actually don't get points when you don't take a turn. So when your opponent just concedes outright like that, they lose LP, but you don't gain LP, which is sad. Yeah, like, since I started playing Runeterra like 6 months ago, Vlad's power level has always been a meme. And, I think with this latest set of cards, he's actually very good. I think he's super reasonable. So this is definitely a Scorched Earth matchup. They are a Plaza deck. Ember Maiden actually doesn't seem particularly exciting here. I think I'm going to go ahead and mulligan her. We're attacking on evens, which means Riven will get to start reforging right away, so I'm going to keep both of these. I wouldn't be surprised if our first play is like turn 3 Scorched Earth plus Riven. I don't know, I kind of don't hate the current system for instant scooping. Like, I technically didn't win anything, my opponent just wasted a little bit of my time, and the person who instantly scoops still losing LP is a good incentive to, like, not be just auto-conceding your bad matchups.
The cost of war.
Well... the fact that they're a Leona deck is another reason to open attacks here. I also just want to, like, deploy my own landmark this turn, which is nice. The fact that we've drawn triple Scargrounds kind of makes me would have kept Ember Maiden. One thing that this build has done too that I'm not sure if I'm a fan of, nailed it chat, is this build has dropped the Tireless tribe, which may or may not be right. That's another good enabler for Scargrounds. We're gonna have a really good turn next turn. We get to go Crimson into second Scargrounds into Scorched Earth potentially. Yes, Jacob. You're very hungry. Okay, you should go upstairs and mommy help you get something to eat.
Mommy just cooking.
You can go get anything you want out of the cabinet, okay? You can have some chips if you want. Just eat at the table, please.
My faith protects me.
There should be tortilla chips down. Just don't open a new bag, okay? You can have anything that's open. I think we're playing the second Scargrounds here. This card's definitely super awkward alongside Ember Maiden, which is another reason I'm not sure that I love its inclusion. Yeah, like this is tough, right? And like now I've lost my only enabler here. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Luna Light. I think I could try. I'm open to trying a second region there. I think I just passed. I think there's nothing we can really do here, right? I could technically Scorched or something, but it doesn't really accomplish much.
Burn them all.
What if I attack with this? If I attack with this and Transfusion, she kills through anything that they have over there. Unless they have like a Pale Cascade. Or what's it called? A +2? No, even a +2/+2 we kill through, right?
Violence to end violence.
We'll eat one of the non-green tortilla chips, buddy. There's plenty of snacks in the pantry.
Oh, hear it.
I'm gonna go ahead and just kill through this, I think. This also technically, like, heals this a little bit. Frubius, thank you for the 7 months. Forgot I had Prime open, so why not give it to the streamer that makes my favorite Runeterra decks? I really appreciate that. I wouldn't be here without the support of folks like you. Cheeto green things are gross. I will say, I think they're Tostitos. The Tostitos lime tortilla chips are delicious. I think Jake would try and exist entirely on them if he was allowed to. This stream is not sponsored or endorsed by Tostitos, but Tostitos, if you're out there, it certainly could be. We had waited to drop Scargrounds, we could have sequenced around Ember Maiden, sure, but there's no guarantee that they're gonna play something like that, so I don't know if that's strictly a punish. Like, Concerted Strike's gonna get something at some point regardless. Okay, so... So this is actually kind of interesting. If I kill this, the Daybreaks don't happen, right? Because it's not always... No, they do still happen. So Daybreak happens when they put it on the stack. Interesting. Oh, because this triggers... No. Activate all Daybreak effects once. I think we do that. Your eyes are very long. You're very silly. Hey, Awo Livey, thank you for the third of you. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning. I think we go ahead and play this levels ribbon, which is nice. Oh, it doesn't level ribbon until we play all the things, right? Maybe I should have given this +2 to have better blockers here. Buddy, if you want to eat, there's an apple on the counter you can have. There's also plenty of stuff in the pantry. Just help yourself, okay? You know where the food is, bud. You cannot have the green tortilla chips right now. Because there's plenty of other snacks up there that are much healthier. Yes. You can have some green tortilla chips with dinner tonight if you're good, okay? It's okay. Alright, I think we're just going in on the Riven. I don't know, this feels like a really bad spot here, right? Like, and this is the problem with cutting the Tireless tribe from this archetype, is I have all these Scar Grounds now, and I just don't have enough enablers to make them meaningful. I guess I forge the blade here, and then put the actual blade on her, and then, like, if they have a Hush, I have 2 decent units that are attacking, but, like, if they have Hush, I'm gonna lose Riven, which sucks. I guess I also trade single combat into her as well. And, like, worth noting, on the 3-1 that we played, like, I over-reforged, right? Like, Riven was just self-enabling this game. Heal Riven to 5. Oh, that's true. We could have healed Riven. It's a good thought. Hey, thanks for the tip, Luna Light Life. I'll get that added to the queue after we're done today. And these both have quick attacks, so you might as well smash in, right? Yeah, no Hush, no single combat here is great for us.
Behold my work.
We are very fortunate against this archetype today. Our opponents have been very bad at drawing their interaction.
Morning, take you.
It literally doesn't matter. They're both quick attack and overwhelm. I think I like the idea of healing Riven, so that way she doesn't die to single combat. I know it only gives her 1 toughness here, but that's worthwhile.
Your favorite star. I'm cold, I'm hungry, and there's rocks in me boots.
I'm cold, I'm hungry, and there's rocks in my boots. Yep, dragon food. Get your blade squires here.
Come, Clara, we have much to teach you.
I can't wait.
Ours is the one true light.
Oh, they will shine.
I've got the reins.
I think I just have to jump here.
Now they'll pay attention.
Okay, that's actually a very good draw. So this gives her 4/4 at burst speed.
No turning back now.
Oh, is it only attack? Sure, 4/2, sure. It doesn't. It's mostly a wash. Again, I want to just take my power and split it up here. So I'm most ideal against a Hush. I'm going to play the second Scar Grounds out before I attack here too, I think. So that way, this gives it +2 attack when I transfusion something. Riven Fizz could be okay. Riven Fizz is probably worse than Riven Darius, if I had to venture a guess.
Power before our might.
Gosh, we're so close, chat. We're so close. Yeah, Riven spells can't be used to protect Fizz, but you do need a proactive spell to give him elusive every turn, where she does help with that. Why did I not attack with the 2-3? Because the 2-3 would just get eaten by Aurelion Sol. Oh, would this have been lethal? This is worse into Hush or single combat. Because I wanted to kill their 7/7. Yes, chat, but if I do that there, they get to hush this and then kill both of my things. So if I transfusion from here to here and then they hush Riven, this dies to the 7/7 and this dies to their 5/3, and then I have no board. It would have been lethal. I did have Hearthstone lethal there. Assuming my opponent had no plays and no interaction, I could have killed them. Chat is correct in that assessment. Do I pass here? They did this, so they could have a meteor.
There's still much to answer for.
It could have also been right to just not play around it and assume we just die if they had it. There is an argument for saying don't play around it. So this is lethal, but there's merit to waiting to play her to find out if they meteor this and then can't kill her.
The hour is mine.
It could have been correct for me to shove there.
Come here, darling.
I think we do this to prevent Aurelion Sol from leveling up. Blocking with the tough unit also denies them a point of lifesteal. Hopefully Riven's gonna be lethal next turn. They haven't had Hush yet. They've drawn a lot of cards here though. Hush and single combat both keep them alive. Huh, that's actually interesting, because they're dead to... They must have another answer, right? Because they're dead to Riven opens.
I do love an audience.
We were fortunate. It could have been right to make them have the Hush earlier with the Disciple. I do think that game's a good example of why the ratios in this deck are probably wrong. Not only did we draw a bunch of Scar Grounds that game, but our Scar Grounds effectively didn't have text for most of it, right? Because this build has cut enablers that self-damage our units. By giving up the Tribalist, we have less ways to enable Scar Ground. So when my opponent was able to just kill my Ember Maidens, they left me with a bunch of cards that just didn't have text. Definitely keeping Scorched Earth against their Plaza deck and a mulligan the rest of this, looking for other cheaper plays. I agree. I think there was probably merit to making the transfusion potentially lethal that turn instead of playing around the Hush. I think my play was probably wrong. But I also think that my draw was worse because of the way the deck is constructed. I think both of those things can be true. They aren't mutually exclusive. Unless my opinion drastically changes over the course of the next couple of games, I don't think I'm gonna take deck submissions with the full Riven package anymore. I'm still going to accept Riven as a champion submission. I think Riven's a very reasonable card. I just don't think her supporting cards so far have proven that they're worth playing. Their overall power level is pretty mediocre.
Slow down, will ya?
Easy pass.
Hello, my darling.
What I cut from the bag. If you want to see my preferred build of Vlad Riven Scarground, there's a highlight on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna play, like I said, I'm gonna play 2 or 3 games with this build as is, and if it doesn't feel, if something hasn't sparked and like, oh, that's interesting and feels good, I didn't think of that, we're gonna switch over to playing that configuration. Is it right to attack here into Sharp Sight? I feel like it's not. I'm just gonna pass here with the transfusion in hand to enable these next turn. I think I'm just supposed to take the pass here. The troll chant too. Like my opponent, I get to like play a 3-drop and then my opponent just doesn't have good attacks into my combat tricks next turn. I agree that the Reforge 1-drop would be playable if it was 2-1 instead of a 1-2. It's a card that feels like it wants to be aggressive, but just isn't.
I need the reputation.
Such rich blood.
Don't hold back!
I suppose.
I suppose.
Such a pretty thing.
So, what if we transfusion here, and then wait and see what they do? I suppose I could also transfusion here to here, and then troll chant here to save this. Because this will become a 6/5 off of this. I kind of like that.
One suffers, another thrives.
And then, like, I guess I have to troll chant if I do that because I can't lose. This is my only enabler right now, and I have a bunch of Scargrounds that I need to enabler again. So, like, this is a potential downside. They get to keep this, but, like, keeping that doesn't seem like a big deal to me, right? I still kill that, and I get another thing here. Alright, so if we make it to a turn 9, we have Big Mama combo rolled up, which is nice. Do I want to heal this? Probably. I think I want to open on healing this so he doesn't die. I guess he still dies to single combat because he hasn't leveled yet.
Come, Clara, we have much to teach you.
I can't wait.
Much to teach you.
You're covered.
I think we give him Overwhelm, so this way if they want to throw this in front of here, he still hits their face for a bunch of damage. And then I'm gonna give Riven Quick Attack. This way they can't kill both of my champions.
I'm absolutely parched. Let it flow.
Let it flow. Let it flow. Vlad's kicking down your door. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Sorry, I apologize. I'll stop now. Oh gosh! The 6-1 doesn't even kill Vlad because he's tough and he levels. Blood never bothered me anyways.
I'll stop you.
That's a good ending.
Hesitation. Shield up.
You've made your path.
Listen, chat, I am the parent of 3 small children. I have watched an unhealthy amount of Frozen.
There's still much to answer for.
I mean, the results of this combat seem real good for us. Frozen is a genuinely good movie. It's just anybody who has small children knows that oftentimes small children will go through phases where they only watch the same show and they just watch it incessantly. And like watching the same thing on... Oh, I have to press OK. Sorry. I was looking at the eye. I didn't realize... That's weird. I thought I didn't realize we were BSing. My daughter is on her 25th rewatch of The Crude. Sorry, I didn't realize that the OK button wasn't OK while I was over the eye.
Oh, this hurts.
I apologize, opponent. I'm just an idiot. And even if they beat this board, Mama into Bloodseeker here will be real good.
We'll take what we want. The rest will burn.
The rest will burn.
Be grateful I even noticed you.
Mama gets big fast, chat. Mama don't mess around. Mama just killed their board. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bloodseeker next turn makes this like I believe Bloodseeker puts this over 20 power, right? So it gets 4 times 4 gets 16 attack. Wait, did they just rally when they had the attack token? Okay, our opponent made an oopsie. They attacked with their scout unit to start, and then they rallied.
I need more ammo.
I don't know that it necessarily mattered, but... because we're going to kill most of their board when they attack, but...
I know what I must do.
I do think our archetype is genuinely powerful when it gets set up. The key to this archetype is having the right mix of enablers and payoffs, so that way you can do what you want to do consistently. In that instance, we did not need the Bloodseeker. You are correct. All right, so Kalista Elise Fearsomes, it looks like. Gonna mulligan these expensive top-end cards. Rune Weaver, to her credit, does look good here against Fearsomes. Yeah, when you have the appropriate mix of things, Fruvius, Curator is reasonable. The problem is, Curator is a card that's not an enabler, it's a payoff, and I'm not sure that we have enough enablers. Bloodseeker Mother are very good. They do win games entirely on their own. I agree with that assessment.
Come closer. I don't bite. You won't suffer long.
Easy trades here. Never not blocking. If we hold on to this until we take a little bit more damage, we'll go ahead and play out the, well... Can I wait a turn on that?
Oh, I can't wait.
If we can hold this till we find Scar Grounds, that would be ideal.
I love a taste of the action. Let the flames take you.
And their deck beat 2 Tavern Keepers, definitely. They're a harrowing deck. They have a lot of go over the top potential in their archetype.
Come here, darling.
Block like this. Take the hits from these. Then we get to play a Tavern Keeper out next turn. In fact, with this Basilisk rolled up in our hand, War Mother's one of our better draws. The Scar Mother's one of our better draws at this point. Be a good 1-2 punch to close the game out after we control it a little bit.
Warm hearts and hot soup.
Let me show you what I can do.
I don't really want to trade this into here, and this is perfect. So this is one of our enablers. This is a payoff. So even if we don't draw War Mother, getting Scar Grounds down with this is very, very good, especially alongside Crimson Disciple.
Leave your bags at the door.
You do often die before they harrowing. Hopefully they develop again so I can play Scar Grounds before we transfusion here. Red Rover, let the fearsomes come over.
Let's talk about your dad. I've carved meat bigger than you. Let's talk about your dad.
Let's get a good look at you.
So if I do this,
Is that all? Come here, darling.
their Kali still levels, but we also get to kill it this way. This means I can't Basilisk next turn, but I think that's fine. The question is, if I take this line, do we survive harrowing on their next turn? We might not. I guess they still have two 2/2/1s here. Pale Cascade means I don't get to kill this here. This is going to level, and then Pale Cascade will give it another point of toughness. If that happens, I'm in a little bit of trouble, potentially. Really, they're Pale Cascading to push damage. Yeah, Transfusion's burst speed, so I can wait till they attack to Transfusion and then still block like I did. Most combat tricks are burst speed, so you could do them at the same point where you're declaring blockers. All right, third Tavern Keeper's the charm. It's kind of awkward that we can't play this out this turn too. If we had 8 mana this turn, we'd be in a very good spot to be able to play both of these and swing. Well, I guess swinging is actually not even very good here because cleaning out bench space is net positive for them. Okay, so they're not on Harrowing then. They're just on second Kalista. Yeah, I think we're dead. This is 8-12, and then I think this brings back Wraithcaller, which makes this exactly lethal. If I math correctly. I guess the Wraithcaller could technically miss on hitting. Sometimes lucky. No Pale Cascade. No Pale Cascade, no Doom Beast, please. Good chance we're still dead here, but we're technically not dead right now.
I was born in battle and raised by war.
We're like dead to a stiff freeze here. They missed. Oh my gosh! They missed twice! Oh wow! Brutal! They have the Doom Beast? Wow, I feel bad. Better lucky than good, chat. Better lucky than good. Maybe this card kills us. Maybe they drew a card that... I think Shadows re-inserts the cards. Place the rest into your deck. I think spamming it's not good, but like one-off Keck W's basically it's a substitute for LOL, so it's probably fine. Well, they haven't killed us yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this and get my extra point of life gain here.
Who are you? Fly to them unbroken.
Are they dead? Did we just like full-on lucker into winning this game? Like both of these have overwhelm, and this is direct damage. I think they're dead. No, maybe not. They can... Okay, that's going to give them some extra defense. And they can block 4 here. And they can block 2 there. And then they're going to 1, right? They block this here and they go to 1. They have to block with everything.
No more hesitation.
Okay, they're going to 2. And then our board is dead. They're going to 2 and our board is dead. What a silly game.
Finally,
Yeah, imagine if that 1-drop Reforge card had been a real Runeterra card. Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair. What a silly game. Yeah, and I think like that game especially, like, we got really fortunate and we still lost that game. And part of the reason why we lost is almost assuredly because this wasn't a real card. Like, had this card been something more powerful, we likely pull through there. I'm gonna finish out the set playing this other configuration that we played before that I enjoy. And again, to highlight some of the differences, Tribliss as another enabler for Scar Grounds and your things that take damage feels good. Ruthless Raider as just a good, just cheap unit that also works well with taking damage. Unscarred Reaver as a cheap thing, that's a payoff. What else? We got a cheeky Might in here. We're playing the full 3 Scar Mothers, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna accept. I had a bit of a backlog of deck submissions from when the set originally started, but I think at this point I'm gonna be done taking Riven package decks. The other existing Riven cards just aren't good enough. So until those cards get a bit of a buff, I think I'm not going to take decks that play them. Riven as a card is fine. As shown here, we're still playing Riven as a champion because she's a good self-enabling card. Definitely a full mulligan here, looking for our cheaper plays against an aggro deck. But the 3-1 for 2 and the 1-2 for 1 with Last Breath, just they're too low quality. If you count temporarily embarrassed Shillionaires, there's at least 1,500 of us. I don't think your mulligans are really meaningfully different, evens versus odds.
The winter's claw strikes.
Break the ties that
These troll chants here, we're definitely not attacking, and we'll use these defensively next turn with our blocks. If they develop pre-combat next turn, we might get Scar Grounds down to pump these up when they get some blocking going on. Would be nice. They don't really have great opens here, so I'd kind of be surprised if they do. So, Riven is better on evens for reforging sooner, but she's also just a good stat line when blocking too. So there's that to consider as well. She's just a card that's good regardless of what you're doing. Shillionaire is 999,989 shillings because of basic trickle-down shillonomics. Every time someone achieves Shillionaire, it becomes easier for all of the plebeians at home to also achieve Shillionaire.
you will not break me.
If you're new to the stream, we never miss an opportunity to bag on capitalism here. Yes, we have 11 Shillionaires here on the channel. Every time someone becomes a Shillionaire becomes 1 cheaper for everybody at home. Tax the Shillionaires. Tax them into the ground. Scar Grounds is very good against Misfortune. The question here is going to be, can we survive their burn from here? So this is hitting for 1. This is hitting for 1. We're at a virtual 7 right now, basically.
Coming in hot!
Brave or stupid?
This puts us at a virtual 8. This will probably...
Scare me.
I'm surprised they're not blocking here, because this is tough, so this is not a trade. I guess they just want to preserve the most life total here.
Timing is everything.
Wow, okay, so like, the way this turn is working out is incredibly good for us here. So they just gave up 4 points of face damage to kill our board, and I don't know what their hand looks like, but I am super happy that they've elected to have less reach to interact with our board here. I think there's a good chance my opponent has misassessed their role here, and they should instead be pointing all of their stuff to kill me directly.
like a fish in water.
So I think we Scarthane plus Reaver plus Troll Chant this turn, and then next turn we do Bloodseeker. I'm definitely Troll Chanting to gain 2 this turn. Not close.
Captain's orders. Bullet to the face.
Yeah, like, imagine if my opponent... Overwhelm? Attack sucks. Imagine if my opponent had... We could be at 1 here right now, right? Actually, we could be dead. Can I kill them with an open attack, or do I have to expose myself to Decimate? If I attack with everything, they block here and here, and then they take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so they live. So I think I unfortunately have to expose myself to, I have to expose myself to Decimate here, unfortunately, because I don't have lethal otherwise, and we're definitely not getting another combat step. Alright, if we're not dead, they are. Yep. So, I think I'm happy with my play there for the most part. I don't really think there was much we could do. I forget, is this build playing Tavern Keeper? It's not. It's got a few less 3s in it. That may or may not be right. Tavern Keeper was okay in the previous build. It's a good card against aggro decks. These all seem fine to keep against an Avalanche deck. Opponent notably not playing the SI variation of this. I'll learn my scars. I think I'm going to prioritize sequencing units that are better against Avalanche, so we're going to play this on 2 as opposed to this. This is Feel the Rush, usually with Iona for Deny, is what they're looking to do. They have Deny, Concussive Palm, and Mina are the Iona cards that are generally played in the opponent's archetype.
Fight or die.
I'm going to play this out. If they Avalanche here, they take 1, and then this turns into a 3 attack.
The Winter's Claw.
Now, I don't really think this isn't a refuel deck. I think prioritizing putting cards into this archetype that generate card advantage shows a misunderstanding of what the deck is looking to do. The goal of this deck is to kill my opponent, not to generate card advantage going long. The best source of card advantage you can get in a deck like what we are playing is killing your opponent while you still have cards in hand.
You must be Lord Vladimir.
And you must be supper.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Where can I find a full body?
Nothing's tougher than a troll.
I've carved
carved meat bigger than you.
Let's talk about your dad.
They have troll shades of their own here, maybe? Howdy, Petra.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
Let's talk about your dad.
So unfortunately, I can't kill this, but I can save this, so that sounds good. I guess I could save this instead of saving this. I can't kill this regardless, but I could save this Overwhelm unit. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you're not getting timed out for just anything. Like the people attempting to have conversations are quite literally not people being timed out on my channel. The comment in question was like randomly typing LOL into chat, which in general a one-off LOL here and there I don't time people out for.
Let the flames take you.
But like in general, you know, if there were 500 people, there's almost 500 people in here. If 500 people all type LOL every time they find something funny, like it becomes hard to have a reasonable conversation fairly quickly.
I'll knock 'em dead. One smack'll do.
We don't have to worry about atrocity here, which is nice.
Strength through suffering. Kneel before me.
Braum is not good in this deck, chat. People always ask me about Braum. That card is not good here. He doesn't do anything your deck is interested in doing. He's not aggressive. Our deck's not a control deck, and our deck is tight on bench space with Scarground. In fact, I think the forcing the inclusion of Braum in this archetype is a big part of what's kept it bad for so long. Why Vlad's been a meme for as long as it's been a meme. They were great. They were great, Ezekiel's. All right, so do we open attacks? This is the Mina turn. Do we open attacks here? And just, like, crunch in with this? They probably can't gain life if I do, right?
Who would dance with me?
I can even technically save this here, so that way the Ember Maiden threatens to kill them again next turn. It's really odd seeing a streamer be against chat reacting what's in game. My goal isn't to be brainless entertainment. I think there are a ton of people on Twitch and who make Runeterra content too, who provide really good turn your brain off and just watch and laugh and spam entertainment. My goal here as a content producer is to teach people about the game that I'm playing, because in my opinion, my greatest strength is being able to articulate what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And again, that's not, just to make it clear, that's not me saying that people who have chats where random things get spammed are inherently bad. It's just explicitly not what I want for my channel. And if you enjoy that, like, more power to you. Yeah, they're dead to Ember Maiden, so he just gets a pass here. Obviously, we can play the Bloodseeker, but there's no reason to not take the pass when they're guaranteed dead. It gets harder for people to ask meaningful questions every time if people are spamming random stuff. I think this deck's super reasonable. Yeah, Basilisk is very good. Basilisk plus War Mother at the top end of the curve is a very good 1-2 punch. This is our second time playing this archetype. I think this archetype is very reasonable. I think Vlad is no longer a meme with this latest expansion if you build it right. Kevin Ville, thanks for the follow. Kevin Vile, welcome to the channel.
In the War Mother's name.
In the War Mother's name.
This scar made me
I gotta set the tone for the game, chat. I gotta let them know that we're the beatdowns. It's about sending a message.
I need just a moment.
Well, that's incredibly rude.
I'll try anyone once.
That's super, super unfortunate. This is gonna get to 2 for us.
I'll cut them apart. Face me.
Oh! Yes! Deal. Results. Super, super excited to just get 1 for 1 by that card. That was a good draw.
Sharpen the blades, secure the kill.
It's not really a competitive deck yet. I mean, so again, like, Runeterra is a game where there's just so many different things you can be doing at any given point. Like, people focus too much on like, oh, this deck's not competitive if suddenly half the ladder isn't playing it, and that's just not how Runeterra works. Dudes and Bears, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
Destruction feeds my fire.
Feeds my fire.
Breathe it
Wow, that's a good draw.
Let me show you what I can do.
So we get to do this turn, we get to Scorched Earth this, then we get to Scar Mother, which is great.
in. To serve the greater good.
I haven't played this deck enough to know if the aggro matchup is good or bad as constructed. I think if you find the aggro matchups challenging, like the burn-based decks, I would recommend trying to fit in Tavern Keeper, is a card that could be worth playing. Like Scar, Thane, and Might are both cards that we could cut reasonably. Super happy to take this pass here.
Worthy of the Winter's Claw! Swiftly now.
Huh. I think if they attack here, I just take the hit, right? Do I? I'm gonna Scorched Earth. I'm gonna Scorched Earth. Culling Strike, sure.
Unify the tribes.
And then if we draw a Basilisk or an Enabler next turn, there's a good chance we just kill them, right? Even Transfusion's a great pickup. Second Culling Strike, rude. Probably opening attacks. Sure, there's a lot of decks with an over 50% win rate though. Multiple of zeros. Like that's not unique to Go Hard.
Won't fail.
You're right that Go Hard is the most popular thing, but like that wasn't the most popular thing instantly after a set released either, right? Like it took a while for people to find that and for more people to start playing it. Nah, I really don't enjoy Singleton as a format. I don't think there's enough player agency in Singleton. I'm glad people enjoy it as a game mode, but it's definitely not a game mode for me.
I will unite the Freljord.
The Winter's Claw strikes.
Avarosans, stand together.
A fight.
Probably have another Frostbite here, but they're gonna Frostbite things regardless. I'm not gonna double block because I don't want to get Harsh Winds here. Troll Chant also would have made double blocking bad. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with liking Singleton. It's just, like, not my cup of tea. Okay, so, heads up playtime. Now, I guess I have this as a burst speed, so it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, I might want to give this extra... I might want to give this extra attack so they can't Culling Strike it, but I can respond with this one. This one you can't respond with, this one you can.
Break the ties that bind. No turning back now.
I think I just want to make all of my things not have them be able to, I want to be able to have all of my things attack profitably into their Riven here.
No looking back. You will not break me.
Bar the doors!
I'm assuming there's a Harsh Winds or a... I'm assuming there's going to be a Harsh Winds or a Flash Freeze in our future here. Campbell, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. Yep, there's the Flash
The time
Freeze.
is right. Strike now.
Do they have another Flash Freeze, or are we trading off the Ash? Yeah, this seems real good for us, right? They're going to 1 and we have 3 attackers still. Riven Living's not great. Less ideal, but still fine.
I will unite the Freljord.
You die here, Queen Ash.
Only the finest serve.
It's pretty good. Not only draws 1, right?
Show me a target.
So this wipes the attack off of this.
Even a fragment.
Quick
snuffs
attack
out
there
flowers.
doesn't really matter. Unless they also, is this a +2 attack? And this is a +2 attack, she can quick attack into the Scar Mother. But otherwise this is a 3/8.
I'll do it myself.
I'll lead us to victory.
Scar Mother does not yield.
I don't think I want to put myself into... I don't think I want to put myself into deal 3 range. So I want to trade here. And then all my things have overwhelm, so just having 1 toughness doesn't make it very useful here as a defender. Even if they have a Harsh Winds here, they're still dead to open attacks.
Fire.
They like wipe the attack off of these, block here, and still take 2. The quick attack Scargrounds interaction is definitely favorable. Yeah, the way Scargrounds interacts with things like quick attack and misfortune is really, really good. You played a Scargrounds deck with Swain. I just don't think Swain solves any problems that we have. I think the issues that this deck have tend to involve your early pressure on you, and Swain's another slow, expensive card. Our deck already has a lot of expensive payoff cards that I don't need another. Deck building is the hardest part about playing card games. And honestly, in Runeterra, there's no originality basically doesn't exist in the age of the internet. And the #1 piece of advice I can give you for building decks is the best thing, the smartest thing you can do when you want to start building a new deck is to look up what other people have done with similar ideas already. Because I guarantee you, for basically every idea that exists, someone's already worked on it in Runeterra. Starting from a blank sheet of paper is basically always wrong. Optimization is a thing that's real and it has happened and has meaningful decisions to make, but starting from nothing is basically never correct.
I'll try anyone.
Do I take this trade? I think I do. Not giving them multiple gems seems valuable.
Get a good look at you.
This is technically a net negative trade for us because we traded 2-drop for 2-drop, but they're up a gem. I think I play this Reaver out this turn, bank some Spell Mana, and then Ember Maiden next turn. Yep, the opponent is playing Lee Sin Zoe here. And honestly, too, the best way to become a better deck builder is to take decks that are established and learn how to play with them. Learn what makes them tick. And again, like those questions that I have in chat on the card rec command, those are what they are because I want to encourage people to know how I approach building decks. Asking myself those questions is how you go about optimizing and building new decks. Why should we add the cards you want to add? What problem do we have that it solves? What does it replace? There's always lots of cards you can include in any given deck, and asking yourself those key questions is a good way to narrow down what do I include versus what do I not. And starting with an established deck and figuring out how you can fix problems that it has is a good way to approach deck building, in my opinion. Vlad's a great draw here.
Hello, my darling.
Hello, my darlings. So Vlad's gonna level on this attack here, which is nice.
Force is me.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too. I think there's a lot of people who they assume that people that build good decks, all of the decks they build are good, and that couldn't be further from the truth. For every successful deck a good deck builder builds, there's dozens others that are left on the cutting room floor that will never see the light of day.
Their heartbeats quicken. I will not hold back. Act free of doubt. I will not hold back.
Kiki Cord was never good. Shouldn't Maiden be on the left so she doesn't die to Vlad? Maybe. I kind of wanted her to die inside of this combat, though, so she doesn't kill these next turn. There could be merit to assuming that they block her if I put her to the left, but I kind of explicitly wanted her to die in combat so she doesn't kill this.
I will not hold back.
Alright, I'm gonna try and kill them. Show me Hush. Survey says Spell Thief. Okay, so this gives them Troll Chant, which gains them Troll Chant gains them 4, right? And they're going to -4, so that's not enough. And you're dead. Hit it kinda good. Blocking Maiden isn't weird because I could have Transfusion or Troll Chant to save her. Yeah, it was just like turn 5 lethal, right? Again, I think this archetype's super reasonable. Ooh, I saw on Twitter someone posted they made first in Masters in NA with a Teemo Fizz deck. Looked sweet. We mulligan these, looking for other cheap cards to pair with Raider here. It's not bad. Two into 3. We're attacking at even, so we'll get to make a Reforge token right away. Cloud Builder, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Prepared for anything. They'll never know what hit them. That's gonna sting.
The only reason Teemo Fizz is good because they're too cute for the opponents to kill.
Leave nothing standing.
Teemo and Sagi. Teemo, yep. Crunch. You think Mama's gonna kill this man, opponent? Gonna burn their village to the ground.
Serve the creator's good.
Armed and ready.
This would imply they're playing more of a burn deck than anything.
No looking back.
I'm pretty happy to block here against what's likely a burn deck. If they want to spend a Mystic Shot killing this, that's a Mystic Shot that's not going to my face, so I think that's a net positive for me. So, I want to play Vlad next turn, and then I want to play Mama the turn after that. So I think I want to just bank some spell mana here so I can have Transfusion rolled up in a pinch. Do I kill Riven to save Ruthless Raider? It's a lot more damage.
I failed.
They could have another burn spell here, but like, if they have another burn spell, that's again a burn spell that's not hitting my face, so I think that's a net win for me. I think this exchange is good. Like, this is gonna stick around as a 3-1 with Overwhelm. So you've suited up. This is gonna hit us and level up this turn.
Gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, it's scary.
I'd never keep my guests waiting.
Swiftly.
Okay.
Not for everyone.
Alright, can we kill them this turn is the question. This is gonna be an 8 with Overwhelm. I think at a minimum, we're gonna force them to chump block, which seems good.
We'll take what we want. The rest will burn.
The rest will burn.
Commit together.
Okay, so if I give this Overwhelm, they can't just chump, right? Because I'll have 10, so they'll have to trade with this. And then we hope we just don't get burned out next turn. Yeah, but I could have potentially had an open attacks to kill them there, Quaddle, if they hadn't killed my units as a consideration.
Where can I find a full body?
You can't do this! Why are you here?
You spoil the surprise?
They could keep Zap alive here. They don't have to block with Zap. Yeah, that's the better play for sure. Leaves them 2 extra damage.
Scouts are never afraid.
We live here!
Okay. There's a good chance we die regardless of how they block here. I've got 14 puff caps in my deck. Them blocking everything is definitely marginally better for us. They don't know exactly what we're playing, so like playing around Death Sand here, for example, is probably good for them. Yeah, I could definitely see some copies of Tavern Keeper being important to play in this deck.
You small or me big?
Yeah, like a Tavern Keeper in our top whatever probably wins that game. The best source of card advantage is killing them with cards in their hand. Yep. Cut the Scar Thane. I think I like 6 combat tricks. Maybe I don't need 2 Tireless Tribe. We'll split that 2 and 2 with the Tavern Keeper. It could be right to get up to 3 Tavern Keeper though. Card's real good when it's good. Yeah, we could have also high rolled and not hit mushrooms, but we were very likely to hit at least 1 mushroom. Is accurate. Huh? This actually seems fine. A lot of their damage is removal based. Scorched Earth is pretty mediocre in this matchup. This is definitely not a place we want it. It's not very resource efficient for killing most of their units. They don't have large units that have damage stuck on them a lot of the time.
Nothing like the stink of blood and sweat.
I pull the strings.
We add Vlad Scargrounds back in. You definitely can, Fox. Thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
The dead don't need riches.
Hit with your back, not wait. Worthy of the Winter's Claw!
What do you think about Crumble? I think depending on your deck, Crumble's very good. Like, I think, for example, this deck was playing Crumble even before Plaza was a thing. And I think post-Plaza, Crumble's very good in their deck. Yikes. A lot of awkwardness in our hands here.
I'm always up for a round or 2. Blue as the Serpentine.
Not having a 2, 3, or 4 this turn to play proactively feels real bad. Okay. We've assembled Splinter Twin. I think TF Gohard needs Crumble. Yeah, I'd probably play 2 Crumble if I was playing this archetype. There were, like I said, there were builds of it that were playing 2 Crumble last season. I would play 2 Crumble.
What's that you got there?
You dare!
So this is pretty likely to level up next turn. They just need to draw 2. Red card is not super exciting against our Scargrounds, at least. So that's nice. And they haven't played a single Gohard yet. And, like, playing Gohards into our Scargrounds also isn't particularly exciting for them.
Eyes open.
The Winter's Claw will purge the weak.
Purge the weak.
watch the ball, folks.
Ow! My first scar!
Huh? So do we Vlad plus transfusion this turn? Or do we Bloodseeker? I kind of want a Bloodseeker and kill their Twisted Fate. Neither play is great against Vengeance. This is probably a little bit better against Vengeance, because I get to keep this as an Overwhelm unit. Oh, this still kills their thing if my target goes away? Oh yeah, it doesn't say 2. That's great. Deal in. No reason to attack this in and have it die.
Something the matter? Where you going?
Just run while you can.
Wait a minute. Scratched.
Okay, so they get to level Elise here. I get to deploy Vlad and Ember Maiden this turn, though. So the goal here... Oh, they don't have... I would just say the goal is to sequence around... This is why we kept this alive, by the way. The goal here is to sequence around Ruination, but they don't have 9 mana available, so they just don't have it, which is great. So if they open attacks, they can hit me for 8 down to 6.
No place for the kind.
My glory.
They've only played 1 Go Hard so far, right?
My guest waiting.
I'm pretty sure. I wish this showed how many Go Hards they'd played when you mouse back over it. Yeah, I agree. I think this is like the best card I don't want to play more than one of. I think there might be an argument that this is better than Transfusion, but the fact that this can save your things inside of combat is really good. Okay, so they should be super dead, right? I don't think you can cut a non-combat trick for this. Like, I think 6 combat tricks is right. So I think if you want more of these, you'd have to cut a Transfusion. Yeah, this is only their second one. Sick. Thank you for making my dork bigger. Negative 62. This deck's great. If you haven't seen this deck played before, that means you're probably not subscribed to my YouTube channel. You should definitely do that. It has wonderful highlight videos where we play sweet decks like this every single day. This was highlighted yesterday or the day before. Well. -41. Click OK. Oh. She earned her scars. Yeah. So things to think about with this deck. If you want to play this and tune it and work on it more. Tavern Keeper, the burn matchups have felt close or possibly hard. So I could see getting up to the full amount of Tavern Keeper being correct. I could also see playing another copy of Might being correct. Like we said on that end state in that last one there, this card is very, very reasonable. And I could see it being better, like split this Transfusion the other direction. Now, the upside Transfusion has is that it's technically an enabler for some of our things. And it does save your things from their pieces of removal. I feel like if I wanted to fit in another Tavern Keeper, it's probably Riven that gets cut, honestly. Like, her Blade to Exile is fine. Her Blade's giving Overwhelm. Like, Riven is the reason I haven't played more Might, because she does give us another source of Overwhelm, which is nice. But I think if we wanted more play in the aggro matchup, Tavern Keeper over Riven is probably where I'd go. She's just here as a good rate card. We're not really doing a whole lot more than that with her. Is the damage from Crimson Disciple doing enough? So, Crimson Disciple's basically just the best 2-drop that you can play. Like, if you look at the other 2-mana units we have available to us, none of them are really better than Crimson. Like, maybe you could make an argument for Legion Grenader here being better, but I think I like the 3rd point of toughness more than that. So the problem with Demolition is, so this is what chat needs to realize, we don't have a lot of cheap cards in our deck. So like, I want my 2-drops, I only have 6 2-drops here. I want to always play a 2-drop on 2 when I have it. And Demolitionist is only going to be better than this when you have exactly Reaver on 1. And I think that's too narrow. And like, this card is much worse than Crimson Disciple when you just play it on 2. And I think the number of times it's going to be worse is just a naked 2-drop on 2 far outweighs the number of times you're going to have upside where you go Reaver into Demolitionist and attack. Yeah, this isn't really a 2-drop. Is the good? I agree with a Fool there. This is only a 2-drop if you have enough 1-drops to make it a 2-drop. Ashigar, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome. All the new viewers like Ashigar, I stream full-time here on Twitch. I do Runeterra stuff late morning to early afternoon, 5 to 6 days a week. I also have a couple of YouTube channels, one where I post absolutely everything. So I play 3 to 4 Runeterra decks per day. And at youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland, that gets a ton of videos every day. Everything goes up there. If you're someone that doesn't want your feed cluttered and you want to catch just the best decks that I play though, my highlights channel there, I post a short 20 to 30 minute video every single day. So you can always find kind of the sweetest, most competitive things that we're playing on the channel day to day when you can't drop in live. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and wrap on Runeterra stuff for today. I'll be back with more Runeterra stuff tomorrow morning. I'm not going to be done streaming, though. We've been playing through Final Fantasy VII on the Final Fantasy VII remake on the PlayStation, so I'm going to switch gears and play some of that to wrap up the stream today. But I'm done with Runeterra stuff for the afternoon.